Okay, so picture a scenario where currently there are two movies in the theaters that are dealing with Stan. Now, you know Stan. Stan, his name used to be Lou, but he was cast out of heaven, so now his name's Stan. You let people know his name and you give him power. But realistically, there's two movies that are out at the same time that are dealing with a similar premise of that character. Now, one movie is Ready or Not 2, a sequel, and They Will Kill You, which is a brand new movie, starring, her name escapes me, but she was on Joker as well, the good Joker, as well as she played Domino in Deadpool 2, the best Deadpool movie. So the thing is that these movies are insanely similar, but they're not the same movie. They don't play out or act out exactly the same or anything like that. Even the stakes aren't the same. But what's crazy to me is that as much as I had kind of a misgiving for one of the movies, and the other one I was actually very much looking forward to, I was pleasantly surprised that my expectations got switched. Now, I've seen the first Ready or Not movie, and I liked the first Ready or Not movie. But upon hearing that there would be a sequel, I felt, well, what exactly could you do with this? It kind of seems like it ran its course. Just adding more of the same isn't really going to help at all with what you got going on. So, And then upon They Will Kill You, the action, the choreography, seeing everything from the trailer, it just seemed as if this movie was just going to be this ass-kicking, rip-roaring good time. So, naturally, you can see where my loyalties lied. But upon watching the movies, Ready or Not 2 was insanely better than Ready or Not 1. So much so that it was criminal how better of a movie Ready or Not 2 is. And I highly recommend watching it. Ultimately, you do not need to see the first one because it kind of gives a quick little recap. like the recap of it is not really, you don't need any detailed information in order to enjoy Ready or Not 2. So that's my striking recommendation for that. And it's that, yeah, go see it. Even if you haven't seen the first Ready or Not, you don't have to. You could just go see Ready or Not 2. It's that good. But They Will Kill You was something that was very much disappointing. Everything that movie had going forward that made me interested in it was far and too few between for actually keeping hold of my intrigue throughout the entirety of the movie. So much time is wasted on exposition rather than actually showing and not telling. And then it just has such a disastrously long, bloated runtime of unimportant filler nonsense that realistically you didn't need to do. As I was watching the movie, you had essentially the plot set up where the main character is looking for a sister, and her sister just happened to get mixed in with the damn cult that worships Stan. And these people turn out to be immortal, so even though she's an ass kicker and is basically like chopping off heads and stuff, they just keep coming back. So that seemed interesting, but it felt as if it took forever to just get to that point. And then it tried to like trick you with like some pseudo horror nonsense and like crazy jump scares, elongated shots, and just boring stuff that wasn't necessary for what this movie was, as well as what it inevitably ended on. So it really didn't need to do that. And the whole time I was watching it, I was like, it would have been so much better of a premise if she just happens to be this person that could just whoop ass and is like very suspicious of these people and is like weary of them, and then just like goes off on a tirade against them, rather than setting up that she's looking for her sister and then trying to showcase what their relationship is, how long it's been since they've seen each other, and blah blah blah. I just got out of prison, what happened to her, she's been missing, all unnecessary. Because the movie just starts and ends with her getting there, kicking ass, and then leaving. So the initial build-up just didn't need to happen. And then all of the added notion of it just didn't need to happen. It's just so much wasted time to just show like her fighting, her messing with these people reacting in a way to where it's like, this has never happened before. We got someone who's actually putting up a fight in a way that we're not prepared for. A whole bunch of cool, interesting things, but it never dove deeper into it because it just would stop at every chance they could get to give you crazy amounts of exposition in a very, very bad way as far as storytelling is concerned. Like it wasn't a linear story in terms of like them having flashbacks and talking about the past and things like that, but it still wasn't really anything good. I mean, the one factor that they had going for this movie that I was intrigued with, that I was assuming by the trailer, was the fact that you really didn't know who the main character was or why she was doing what she was doing. But as soon as they explained it, it just lessened the flavor of the movie, really. And it was like, that was it? Like, that's all? And it was like, well, you're just some lady. You're just some lady that they could easily dispose of because you're not really a threat. But whatever. Now, with Ready or Not 2, I gotta say, the masterclass of just comedic timing, the acting, the overall funny, just overall funny and interesting concepts that they had going, the different characters that they had. It's night and day when you compare that, Ready or Not 2, towards They Will Kill You, especially with these people who just have this overabundance of privilege and just this unnecessary I want to say frivolous attitude towards the situation, despite how serious it actually is. They look down on the person that they're dealing with as if, you're not a threat, even though she just came off the cusp of actually getting rid of a group of people who were exactly like the people that she's dealing with currently. And it was great. it was great. Elijah Wood is so damn good in this movie. It is ridiculous. And he just comes in and goes as the accountant, as like the accountant or the lawyer for Stan. But it was so good. Like, it was so good. And I gotta say, and I have to admit, you would think, they would just do more of the same from what happened. And generally speaking, they did. But if anything, they added, they had a lot more action scenes in the first movie. You had a main character who essentially was dealing with what she was dealing with, yet still getting far more messed up than she did during the first movie. And it was just, all in all, it was just such a great movie. I wouldn't even say a single scene was really wasted. It just came from off the jump, start to finish, just going, and it was great. It was so cool. It's hard for me to actually break down or talk about something that I genuinely enjoyed and like, rather over something that I didn't like, but most people are like that. But still, I would say with Ready or Not 2, if there was any complication to the movie, it was essentially the sister character and her mentality towards the main character, and them, they kind of glossed over, not closure, but they kind of glossed over exactly the severity of what it is that the main character went through in the first movie, thus leading to her being as weary and insightful and then just overall exhausted in this movie as far as the sister was concerned. But the sister very much was a very selfish person, but again, the movie didn't insist on that being a drowned out, like it wasn't, it didn't ruin the movie, if you will. It was just something that came up and I was like, man, I wish they would have did that rather than this, but beggars can't be choosers. And I got over it because the movie makes up for it very, very much so. But overall, the acting that everyone has in this movie, Sarah Michelle Gellar, the main characters, I do not remember her name, both of the sisters, the other family members that are worshiping Stan and then going around trying to kill this girl, it's all good. Like, it was really, really good. So I have nothing but praise for Ready or Not 2. I highly recommend you go watch that, and it's something that you don't need to see the first one in order to actually enjoy, but it helped. it would very much help. But yeah, and They Will Kill You is a movie that I kind of look at not with disdain, but more so as that was an interesting one. It's a movie that's okay to watch. It has very good I'm gonna say animation, not animation. It has very good special effects, really good special effects. Wonderful fight scenes and just interesting and crazy action. Especially dealing with someone that's basically fighting in a no holds bars fight against a bunch of people who are immortal but are still clumsy and clanky and goofy because they're not used to actually putting up a fight against somebody. So yeah, that it gets a very good passing grade, and that alone is enough to actually see the movie for. It's just, you would hope they just had more of that in the movie, but they didn't. So that's it. I just wanted to talk about those two movies that I saw in theaters that I realized were similar, because they both were about a cult dealing with Stan. And I thought that was funny. I thought that was funny and odd. So, there you go.